My name's Joe.
I'm Emily.
And today we're going to be attempting to repair the space-time continuum before time paradox unravel the fabric of the universe in Back to the Future Dice Through Time. This game was... was that too much? No, alright. This game was designed by Ken Franklin, Chris Leader, and Kevin Rogers, and published by Ravensburger. If you are here from Gen Con, please remember to give your tickets for this event through your event details page. There should be instructions on the event dashboard page or even on the Gen Con emails. So if go ahead and do that, that'd be great. That lets Gen Con know that you like the Ravensburger doing events, and then they'll want us to do more events in the future. So that helps everyone.
Yeah. Win.
Win. Anyways, as I said earlier, today we are playing Back to the Future Dice Through Time. This is a dice game where you are attempting to fix the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Take things back to where they belong. Fix the time.
That's right. So our goal in the game is actually to go out through time and collect these items that are in each year. So we have 1885, 1955, 1985, and 2015. We're playing on the easiest mode, so there's 2 items per year.
Yep.
On more difficult modes, it can go all the way up to 5 items per year, which is a lot.
That's heavy.
And to do that, we're going to be moving around throughout time and throughout our years that we're in, trying to solve events and return the items as necessary.
Yes, sir.
The game is played in 6 phases. The beginning of each phase is to draw and place event cards. So I guess we should just go through it and start doing it, right?
Let's walk through it.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So go ahead, let's go to draw.
Who goes first?
Oh, well, yes, that's right. Who goes first in this game is the person who has traveled through time the most, or is the oldest.
Age before beauty.
Yeah,
in this case,
I have traveled through time the most in this pair here.
Can you be upset though?
So
I will gladly take second.
I do get the first player token here, which is, the driver's the steering wheel with the 88 miles per hour, and if you flip it over, it says roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. So I will get that in front of me here, and then we have, move on to just starting the game, right?
Okay. So first step is you draw and play events.
Yep.
You get 3.
Since we have 2 players, we get 3 events per turn.
Right.
So, and it is important that you draw them and play them in order because some events affect things that are already out. Yeah, yep.
Right.
So let's go over what events look like and what they are. So this is an event here. In the top left corner of the events, you're going to see a symbol. That matches one of the 6 symbols on the dice that we have as well.
Right.
Those that symbol is what is needed to complete the event, and completing events is kind of like the whole point of this game. We need to get there, complete them, and then if you complete the events, you get rewards and stuff like that. So by getting items.
Right.
So this one would take a lightning bolt symbol to complete. Under there you have what the event is. So the train pushes the DeLorean to 88 miles per hour. And then you're going to have the location and the year that it goes in. And that location, year, and like the bottom of the card, the color matches the year that it goes in. So it makes it a little bit easier to find it. And this event actually has an icon on the top right as well. So not all events have that. But this is the chicken icon, and that is the icon that summons Biff to that location. So if that's ever on an event, you have to move Biff to that location where the event is played.
And during setup, Biff starts at the Biff start location, which is indicated again by a chicken.
Right, yeah, so we do have 4 Biffs, 1 in each year, waiting for us to ruin our day. So this one, the train pushes the DeLorean to 88 miles per hour, goes to the train bridge in 1885, which is right here. And because it has that Biff symbol, Mad Dog Tan is going to move over there and hang out and be bad news for us.
Right.
All right, next event. Oh, okay, well, this one is an instant event. So this one doesn't have symbols on the top left, and it just has an effect that takes effect immediately, and then sometimes it lasts the entire round, or sometimes it's like you just do something and it goes away.
Right.
So this one says something wrong with the starter. Players roll 1 less die this round. Oh no, we're getting a slow start.
Yeah.
That's not good. So I'm going to move my die aside so I don't forget that.
Right.
I'll just put it on my board because that's where your used dice go. And the last one is Marty and Jennifer take a walk, and this is just another normal event, but it does have Biff on it again. So that's going to go to the clock tower in 1985. That's actually where I'm at right now. And then Biff's going to move there, and I am here as well.
Right.
I forgot to mention, all the players actually start in the clock tower of their year. So Emily's here in 2015 playing the pink DeLorean, and I am hanging out in 1985 in the orange DeLorean.
Yes,
so.
sir.
That's it for the draw and place event cards phase. Now we're actually going to all roll our dice. All right, so let's see here. We have one less die this turn, so that's gonna it's gonna hurt us this first round already.
A little bit.
Darn this event.
But it's co-op, and
that is.
I've got a flux capacitor.
Okay. I do as well.
You could leave me a flux capacitor, because then I'd have 2 when I got up there. So I would have a fist to get Biff out, and then I'd use your 2.
All right.
There is a cool thing. It's called. Oh, you want to talk about Mr. Fusion, or wait till I do it?
Wait till you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's wait till you do it.
Spoiler alert.
So I rolled an arrow, a flux capacitor, and a lightning bolt on my turn. I need a Doc Brown token or an icon to finish this event,
Right.
which I don't have. What I can do though is ripple die.
Right.
So you can leave dice at a location and they ripple through time. So if I leave this flux capacitor icon, which looks like this, on this location, any other player on a future turn can come to this location or that same location in the future and use that die. So if I leave that there, Emily could actually grab that from the clock tower in 2015 and use it to go through time. So I'm just going to let that die ripple there, and then I'm going to use the arrow. Actually, before I use the arrow, I'm actually going to let my lightning bolt die ripple as well, just in case you need an extra die to move somewhere or something like that afterwards. So just going to leave that there for you.
You don't need it?
I don't think I need it. I don't have much to do this round, so but that's all right.
Just get out of my way.
I'm helping you do more is what I'm going to do. But I do have this arrow icon, and that allows you to move to any location in your current timeline. So I can go to anywhere in 1985 playing that. I'm going to head over to Hill Valley High so that I can hopefully get like a flux capacitor to head back to the train bridge in the 1885.
Okay.
That's going to end my turn, though. So now Emily is going to take all of her actions.
Okay. I'm going to use your flux capacitor. I'll give that back to you to get me up to 1985.
Okay.
And then to...
Oh, yeah, we didn't explain.
Oh.
Flux capacitors allow you to travel through time.
Yeah.
So
kind of important.
It is important. So when Emily used it, she can actually go to any other time in that same column.
Right.
So she can go to the clock tower in 1985, 1955, or 1885. But she only needed to move back 30 years to the 1980s.
Ooh,
so
that was some good math.
Thanks.
Okay. So you can't solve an event if Biff is there. That is the point of Biff, to ruin your day, ruin your events. So the only way to get rid of him is a fist.
Yep. So the fist icon on the dice, as Emily said, their special ability is to move Biff to another location in your time. You can move him to any location you'd like.
I don't want to move him here because you're there. But it doesn't matter where, really, because there's nothing yet.
Right.
But I'm going to just move him over here as far away from me as possible.
Right.
And I don't need your lightning bolt, so you're going to be able to take that back at the end of this turn. But I am going to use the Mr. Fusion action.
Yeah.
And that allows me to spend 2 matching dice and trade them for 1. So in this case, I'm going to switch my 2 flux capacitors for 1 Doc Brown, which lets me solve that event.
Yep. And this is what the Doc Brown symbol looks like on the die. And normally that special ability of Doc Brown is to remove paradox tokens from the board, which we'll get to in a couple phases. But again, he's also used to complete the
which allows me to collect an item.
Yeah, so Emily was able to complete the event because she had the Doc Brown icon using Mr. Fusion. Biff was not at the location as well.
Right.
So she's able to get an item card.
Right.
So this is the first item card of the game. It is the mind reading helmet. And she found it in 1985, but it actually needs to go back to the Brown Mansion in 1955. Okay. So now that Emily has an item, her goal is to get it back to its proper place and time. And once she does that, we get even more rewards.
So I am actually going to change my plan now that has happened.
Okay.
My turn's not up yet, right?
Right.
So I am going to use your lightning bolt. I am going to discard it to move 1 spot to my left or right.
Yep.
And I'm going to go over to Doc's lab, hope for a flux capacitor, shoot me up to Brown Mansion, and hopefully I can drop off this mind reading helmet, because you can only ever have 2 items.
That's right.
So I'm already halfway there, so it's get them, but you got to get rid of them,
you
too.
Can't, yeah. You can still complete events if you're full on items, but you can only carry 2 items at a time.
Right.
And what Emily did there is use this lightning bolt instead of for its special ability.
Right.
You can discard any die to just move 1 spot left or right in your current time. We're pretty close here, aren't we? Running into each other. We're in the same year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And if that happens, what happens?
Oh my gosh. So if our DeLoreans or 2 DeLoreans ever end up in the same location, when you move in, you have to advance the out of time tracker by 2. And that's bad.
Right.
Because if the out of time tracker ever gets to the 12 spot, we lose the game immediately. Yeah, you don't get a chance. Time is a
you're
mess.
You're out of time.
That's right. You're out of time. Exactly. That's what it means. Exactly.
Well, let's get to that when we're.
So now that we've kind of explained, or you've seen how we are rolling the dice and performing our actions, we now move on to the advanced out of time marker phase. And when you do that, you look at every year and find which year has the most locations covered by events. Not the most events, because multiple events can be at one location. Right. The most locations covered by events. So right now, 1885 is the only year with any events. So we're going to advance it by 1. So you advance it by 1 for each location that has events on it.
Right.
The next thing you're going to do is add paradox tokens. So whatever year you just advanced the out-of-time tracker for, you will add paradox tokens to every location that has an event. So now it has a paradox token there. Paradox tokens are very bad. If we ever have to advance the out-of-time tracker for a year that has paradox tokens, they add 1 per paradox token there.
So that's now a 2 time instead of just the 1.
Yep. So if we have to advance it again for 1885 next year, right now, or next round, we're already at 2 time.
Unless you have a Doc Brown, because he can remove 2 of those.
That's right.
So it does help you out if you're...
Yep. And the last part of the round is actually to pass the first player marker. So that's Emily's going to get that, and then we're going to go back up to the top and draw and place event cards.
All right. So my first event is Griff tries to recruit Marty at the Cafe 80s in 2015.
All right.
And it doesn't have a Biff icon, but Biff was already there.
Yep.
The Doc readies the DeLorean for rail travel at the blacksmith shop in 1885.
The 1880s are starting to become messy.
And, ooh.
Oh, no.
Woo! Another 1885, Doc saves Marty at the clock tower.
Yep. And that has a Biff icon as well.
A Biff. Move Biff over there.
Yep.
And things are getting heavy in 1885.
And just so we didn't mention this yet, but just so you're aware, all these Biff are actually standees.
Right.
And same with the out of time. We just have them laying down, so it's easier to tell where they're actually located right now. So yeah, we roll our dice now, right?
Yep. All right, I got some variety.
Alrighty, me too. I think I'm gonna be able to do something this round, so something good.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to use the flux capacitor.
Okay.
Oop, right there. To go here.
Okay.
I would go up to 1885, but I can see that you're probably also going to go up there. I don't want to run into each other, plus I don't have the correct die to solve that. So instead, I'm going to pit stop in 1955, and I am going to turn in my mind reading helmet.
All right, so we returned our first item. That is great. We only have 7 more to return to their proper time. That means that we get to reduce the out-of-time marker by 1, and something we haven't yet explained, Einstein Tokens. So Einstein fetches us some help here.
Yes.
So Einstein Tokens all look like this on the front, and on the back side they all have one of the 6 symbols that are on the die. So we have an arrow Einstein token, and that can be used as if it were an icon on any die. You can combine it for Mr. Fusion, you can use it to resolve events, you can use it just for its special ability, whatever.
They're awesome.
Yep, they're great. And anyone can use it the rest of the game. It's just once it's used, it gets discarded from the board. So.
Alright, so since teamwork is the name of the game in here, I can't particularly do anything else helpful, but I could possibly come to 1955 and ripple you a couple die and then...
Okay.
Or a die and move. What would you like? What do you need?
Sure. I mean, I could always use another lightning bolt, I guess.
Okay, so I will use my arrow.
Okay.
And I will come across there, and I will leave a lightning bolt to ripple in time. Could you use Doc, or should I just use him and get rid of that just in case?
Sure, yeah, let's show what the Doc Brown symbol does. So
there's my Doc Brown.
Emily's going to be using Doc Brown for a special ability to remove 2 paradox tokens from the board.
Luckily, we only have 1.
Yep.
And when you solve that event, the paradox token would go 2, but just to be safe, in case something happens and you can't, at least we save ourselves 1 paradox.
And the paradox tokens that you remove for Doc Brown can be anywhere on the board. It doesn't have to be in your column for location or in your year. It can just be from anywhere. So,
that ends me.
All right, so I'm going to use my lightning bolt with Emily's lightning bolt die to actually use and put them into Mr. Fusion to turn them into a flux capacitor. That way I can travel back to the train bridge.
No garbage required for that.
No. The next thing I have is another lightning bolt, which is needed to complete the event. So I'm going to complete this event which is going to get it discarded from the board and get me an item from 1885.
Yeah.
And it is the radiation suit, which needs to go back to Peabody Farm in 1955. So I will need to try and head back there if I can.
You got some more work to do, though.
I do. I have an arrow, so I'm going to use my arrow to actually travel to the blacksmith. And I have this wrench icon. So this event actually needs a wrench to be completed, but the wrench icon's special ability is that it can count as any icon on an event.
Right.
You can't use it to use the special abilities of the other icons when you roll them normally. Just to solve an event. So, for example, this event here requires a wrench and an arrow. You could actually use 2 wrenches to complete that because the wrench counts as a wild when completing events. But I'm at the blacksmith in 1885, which requires a wrench. I have a wrench. So I'm going to use that to discard this event as well. And I just got the last item from 1885 for us. It is the case of plutonium, which needs to go back to Doc's lab in 1985. So I got some time traveling to do here to return these items now.
And you're full, so you need to focus on getting those items
I
back.
am, you're right. I am full up on items now.
All right, let's
get
that on time marker.
Yep, that's the end of the actions round. So now we're going to do the advanced out of time. It again is going to be 1885 that we're going to be advancing it for. So it'll go up 1.
Even though there's 2.
Well, there's only
2 times, but they each only have 1.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. So 1885 and 2015 are actually tied for having the most locations covered. But when that happens, you just look at the earliest year in history. So 1885 is the earliest, so it will advance the out of time tracker, and then we'll add the paradox tokens to that year as well.
And you moved us up?
And I moved us up, yes.
Okay.
So I get
you added the paradox,
yes,
the player marker,
yes,
and here are your events.
That's right. All right, my first event is Doc introduces the DeLorean time machine to Marty at the Twins Pine Mall in 1985. There he is. Biff's already there waiting for it. The next event is the McFly family has rehydrated pizza at Hilldale in 2015. And the third one is Doc introduces the DeLorean to Marty at the Twins Pine Mall. So here we go. So now we have 2 events at this location. So, and it has the Biff icon, but he's already there. So now for us to complete the events at the Twin Pines Mall, we actually have to have all three icons at one time to complete them. So that's where rippling dice and stuff might help out if one person can't get all 3 symbols.
You also have to remove Biff.
You do have to remove Biff as well, yeah. So you have to get there, move Biff, and then you can attempt to solve it. So. All right, all the events are out. Let's roll our dice. Oh, great Scott.
Good, great Scott?
Yeah. I have options, so.
You always got options.
That's right. Okie dokie. I go first, don't I?
You do.
Well, I need to get on to a different timeline here. Peabody Farm in 1955. Okay. Or Doc's lab, which is right below me. Okay, I'm going to go to the 80s then. The 1980s. So I'm going to discard 2 Doc Browns into Mr. Fusion to turn them into a flux capacitor and head to Doc's lab in 1985. That is going to allow me to turn in the case of plutonium back to where it belongs, which is going to let us lower the out of time tracker by 1 and get us another Einstein token. And I got a Doc Brown symbol. The next thing I'm going to do is, are you thinking about what are you thinking about doing?
Here. I believe I can solve just this one item, but at least that would make it a tie.
Okay. Yep.
So we are going to have a paradox issue, but I might also have a Doc Brown. I could remove that. So.
All right. So I'm actually going to borrow this arrow or use the arrow. Do you need the arrow? I can use the Doc Brown instead.
Yeah. Could you do
I'm going to discard that Doc Brown icon to just move 1 to the left. And I'm going to use my 2 arrows, combine them through Mr. Fusion again. Mr. Fusion's fantastic. And turn it into a fist. So that way I can use the fist symbol to move Biff out of here, because I need to fix this event. So that's going to be the end of my turn, though. So it's back to you.
So I'm going to use my flux capacitor to get down to 2015.
Okay.
And then...
And this event requires a lightning bolt.
Which I don't have, but I have... I guess I could have used 2... No, I wanted Mr. Brown, right? Okay.
So I'm just going to use the arrow.
And this arrow, I'm going to Mr. Fusion those together to count as a lightning, which is what you need to solve this event.
Yep.
I get an item from 2015, which is Doc's letter, which has to go to the clock tower in 1885.
Yep. So there we go. Emily's got to go way back in time now.
And I've got 2 die left.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to leave this because the flux capacitor is pretty powerful and can take me through time. So I'm going to leave this here for my next turn.
Yep,
so I am guaranteed to have one.
Yep, so you can ripple dice in between turns as well. You do not have to take it back, and it doesn't have to get used this turn.
And I have one Doc Brown. I could discard him and move over, but I see that that would hit us again, and we're already at 2, so I'm going to use my Doc Brown to remove that time paradox up there.
Okay.
And end my turn.
Okay, so now we're going to advance the out-of-time marker. So, again, we have 3 years now with the tie, because they each have... Because even though this has 2 events, it's still 1 location. So, we're going to go with the earliest year again and advance it by 1. And then we're going to put another paradox token back out there. Boy,
we're just treading water up there at the clock tower.
Yeah, we're just keeping afloat. That's all right.
And then...
and then I'm going to pass the first player
sir.
token. And then we're going to get some new events. All right.
First one. Oh, an instant.
Oh.
Struck by lightning, each player moves to the next year down, keeping the same relative location. Players in 2015, like me, who rippled herself a die, have to move to 1885.
That's right. So that means I'll be going to 2015, and Emily's moved.
Since that's an instant, we can just go ahead and discard that right away.
Yep. Oh, no.
Oh, my great Scott, indeed. It is another.
Oh, no.
All right. After rolling dice this round, all players must re-roll all flux capacitor results.
And then you keep the second result. Yes.
So I'm going to keep that there as a reminder.
Yep.
If I get another one...
Maybe it'll be a good one.
All right. Enchantment Under the Sea dance at the Hill Valley High School in 1955.
That's where Biff's at over there.
He didn't have to be there.
Well, he's at the dance,
Who
you know.
moved him? No.
I did. You're right.
Okay.
All right, so now we get to roll, and then we have to re-roll any flux capacitors.
I didn't get any.
Me either. All right, so that can be discarded. Then we're done with Great Scott.
Great Scott, you get out of here.
Man, we flew in a lightning storm, and just what were we thinking?
Oh, so... Oh, no.
You are in 1885. You could save the clock tower.
I could save the clock tower. And I have to go to the clock tower anyway.
Oh, you do? Look at that.
Look at that. Thank you for playing my game for me.
So Emily has an item that needs to be returned to the clock tower. You cannot return an item if Biff's there or if there's events there. So she actually has to clear that off before she can return her item.
I don't think I can.
No?
Because I have to get 2 to get over there.
Yeah.
Because I left that flux. I tried to beat the system.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
That is what happens. So I could use these 2 to flux capacitor down here.
And this is a good example of a rippling die.
And
so
I could use this.
Normally it can be used in any time in the future. So this die is not available to any other year because you're leaving the dice through time for anyone in the future to use.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when Doc hid the DeLorean.
Well, darn. At the very least, I guess I can set myself up.
Yeah. For next time, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to... If Biff wasn't there, ruining everything. I could have done it.
Yep.
Biff or Mad Dog Tannen. Alright, so I'm going to discard... Well, either way. I could discard a fist, move over, discard another fist, move over. Or I could put the 2 together, be an arrow, move anywhere, and move to clock tower.
You could... Not trying to tell you how to play. You could actually discard a fist and a wrench and then move Tannen to another location using the other fist instead of using the 2 fists to move.
All right. You convinced me.
Just so trying to save time.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
All right, so I'll have used a fist to move here, and then I'll have used a wrench to move here, and then I will use a fist to move. Do you need to go?
No, I don't need to go to the 1880s. Yep. So now, next turn, if Emily gets a wrench, she can easily complete that event.
And you could come over here and collect that should you need to.
Yeah, that's a long...
Don't let it die in vain.
That's a long ways to go.
All right. Well...
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is actually discard 2 fists to become a flux capacitor, because I want to try and hit this event still. And then I have an arrow, which I don't need, so that's the problem. Now I'm going to have cards, or dice that I don't need to use. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about banking this Doc Brown for next turn, so I could, use it to complete the event, because it requires a Doc Brown icon. But we also have the paradox. I want to risk it. I'm not chicken. I want to leave that there. And then the arrow.
Hopefully, I'll be able to solve that anyway.
The arrow, I could leave here if we were playing with more players again. Maybe somebody could use that in the 2015 or in my time. But it's just going to ripple for now.
Really?
So, yep. I want to stay there and try to complete this. So,
okay.
We're going to advance the out-of-time tracker. So now we're going to look at each year still tied, one location covered by events. So we go with the earliest one. So it's going to be the 1885, and this time there is a paradox token there. So it's going to increase by 2 instead of only 1. And then you add paradox tokens to all locations in that year, unless they already have one. So it doesn't get worse.
Okay. I'm taking this die back though. Then I'm not getting stuck with.
I'm going to take the arrow back, but I'm going to let the Doc Brown ripple through time some more. So we just need to pass the first player marker and then start drawing the next events. All right. First up, we have Marty buys a sports almanac from Blast from the Past in 2015. There we go. Next one, Biff steals the DeLorean at the Skyway in 2015, and that has the Biff icon on it.
2015 is getting heavy.
And then the McFly family rehydrates a pizza at
Another
Hilldale.
one.
Oh my gosh, 2015 is
I feel
just...
like they've had enough pizza.
Are we sure that's 2015, not 2020?
Right?
It's a mess.
It is a mess.
Alrighty.
All right, let's...
Roll our dice.
Yeah.
I left the Doc Brown there. Now I'm regretting that, I think. But
Ooh, I'm not.
okay, I got perfect stuff. Okay. So I have the Doc Brown already. It needs a fist and a lightning bolt. I actually rolled 2 wrenches, though. So I can just use those as anything on these events to complete that. So these will get discarded. Maybe. There we go. And I'll get to draw the last item from 1985, which is the hoverboard, which needs to go to 2015. So those dice are used. I have an arrow. The hoverboard needs to go to the Clock Tower Mall. That's where you're at. You're in the Clock Tower in 1885.
I'm in the Clock Tower, and I think... after I solve that, I'm going to try to move over and come down here just to get ready, so we would be right next to each other.
Okay.
But if you promise not to
Alright, I'm
me.
going to use the arrow to move to the Clock Tower Mall for now.
Okay.
I'm not chicken. We'll be fine.
Okay. Alright, so it is my turn. I'm going to use my wrench first and foremost to solve this event that is not coming up.
Yep.
And that also gets rid of
Yep, and when you solve an event, if there are paradox tokens there, they get discarded along with it.
Events.
There are no items in that year, so
but no Biff, no events. I can at least return that item.
So Doc's letter will get returned to 1885. So we'll reduce the...
by 1 and give me an Einstein.
And it is a wrench. Wow, that is a very good one.
That's basically a freebie, right?
He's such a good boy.
Okie doke. So let's discard Doc Brown to move over 1.
Okay.
And then use a flux capacitor to come down.
Yep.
Should I leave the flux capacitor here for you? Should you need it?
I don't.
I feel like I made that mistake once.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I mean, you've already went, so it's kind of same difference whether I say I'm going to ripple it or we just kind of end it. And
yeah, you can just Yep.
I'm gonna save it for next time.
Okay, so now we're going to advance the out-of-time marker, and this is going to be bad because 2015 has 4 locations, so it's going to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're halfway to losing the game, and then on top of that, 4 paradox tokens are also coming out.
I think that we both need to be in 2015 to try and get this situation
to get this under control again. Yeah. All right, so let's pass the first player marker, and hopefully we'll be able to...
Well, I gotta lay out
my
events.
Yeah, what am I doing?
Unfortunately,
I'm so excited to try and fix the future.
2015 might even get dicier.
Yeah, dicier.
So,
boom.
Doc saves Marty at the Clock Tower in 1885.
Oh, that's
I feel like I was just there.
Yeah, deja vu.
Oh, look, another 1885 at the Saloon. Showdown with Mad Dog Tannen.
All right.
It is weird that Biff doesn't show up there.
Yeah.
I feel like he always is at the Saloon. All right. Oh, look at that. Another 2015. Griff tries to recruit Marty Jr. again at the Cafe 80s.
Oh, and Biff comes there.
So Biff comes there. And this might be the worst location
it's not looking good in the history or the future of time.
Yeah. The future of time? The history? Whatever.
Okay. Where am I going? Okay, you go first, so let's see what you can do. Don't forget, we do have the wrench icon up there from Einstein as well.
An arrow, but I don't have a fist. Or a fist to bump. Biff out of the way.
Yep.
So actually, I'm going to discard my lightning,
Okay.
come over here, use my arrow to solve this event, and therefore get rid of that paradox.
Yep. So it's
and
one less.
Get the last item of 2015, which is Lorraine's dress, which has to go to Hill Valley High School in 1955.
Which is where Biff and an event are at right now.
Yes.
It's the dance.
It is. I'm going to then use this arrow to come over here. I don't have a lightning, but I do have that wrench up there.
Yep.
And since Biff's not there, I can use that to solve that, get
Yep.
rid of another paradox.
And to clear the event.
Yep, there's no more items, but that's okay, because hopefully I'm at least... hopefully we won't be drowning, at least.
Yeah.
And then... what's your plan here? What should I do with this? I could discard it and move over one and try to set myself up? All right, we're going to discard the flux capacitor to just be able to move one spot over.
Okay.
And hopefully set myself up for next time.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 arrows to actually go to the clock tower mall, use them as a flux capacitor. That since I'm there, I can return the hoverboard to its rightful location. Which is going to lower the out-of-time tracker by 1 and get us, come on, a good Einstein token. Ooh, a wrench. That is fantastic.
That is a good one.
I'm going to discard my Doc Brown token. I know that sounds crazy because we have paradox tokens on the board, but 1885 currently is going to trigger instead of 2015 because they both have 2 locations, and that one's earlier.
Okay.
So I'm going to discard my Doc Brown to move here, and I'm going to use the fist to move Biff over to Hilldale. So hopefully that'll make this solving this a little bit easier next turn. So now we're going to advance the out-of-time tracker. So let's see here. The clock tower has 2 not 1885 has 2 locations covered, and it's the earliest year, so it'll go up by 2, and then we'll put 2 paradox tokens out. Oh boy, we haven't even touched 1955 yet.
I know.
Oh no. All right, 3 more events.
Play one more round, maybe.
Yeah, we'll play one more round, and then we'll switch over to the Q&A here.
Yeah.
All right, first one, Enchantment Under the Sea Dance. Uh-oh.
Whoa. How do they knew I had to go there.
All right, next one, Marty buys a sports almanac in 2015 at the Blast from the Past, which is where you are at, and Biff comes there. So that I tried to move him. He's so persistent. And then Peabody Farm, Old Man Peabody is visited by the Spaceman in 1955. So, all right, here we go. Let's do this. We can do this. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, lots of arrows. Okay, I need 1 arrow. Okay. All right, so I need 1 arrow, 1 wrench, and 1 fist to complete this event. So, do I need to complete these events, though, or should I be going somewhere else is the question.
To drop off?
Yeah, I need to go to the Peabody Farm. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my flux capacitor to travel to 1955. I'm going to use my arrow to travel over to Peabody Farm. I'm going to turn these 2 arrows into the Doc Brown symbol, which will allow me to complete the event, which will allow me to get an item, which is Marty's skateboard, which needs to go back to his house in 1985.
Don't forget your item.
And it allows me to return the radiation suit to Peabody Farm in 1955, which will lower the out-of-time tracker by 1 and give us another Einstein token for us to use. And I will be done this turn, so it's going to pass to Emily.
I've got a fist. I've got a lightning. I've got a tool there. I would be using a lot of those. So should I even do that? Or I have to go up to the Hill Valley High. Move there, go up there. I don't have 2 arrows. I don't think I'm going to be able to make
McFly,
it up there.
think.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, well, I'm here. And I do believe if I deplete our Einstein tokens, I should be able to at least complete this.
Sure.
So, time to make like a tree and get out of here.
That's right. Move Biff away with the fist.
And then I need a lightning bolt, which I don't have, so I'm going to use that.
Okay. A wrench, which you need.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, no.
Oh, great, Scott.
Great Scott. You don't have what you need to
I don't
complete
have
that.
what I need. Oh, no.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Change plans. Those are still up there. So I'm going to flux capacitor up to here, even though it doesn't really do any good, but I can go over.
Yep.
And then I can, I can either way use my arrow or discard it, however you see fit, to move over there. And then to solve that event, I need a Doc Brown and lightning bolt, so I'm going to use Einstein's tree up there.
Okay. That is going to remove those the paradox token, remove the Einstein, and remove the events.
Right.
And that's it, right?
That's it.
All right, so now we're going to advance the out-of-time tracker. It will go up 4 because 2015 has 2 locations and 2 paradox tokens. Oh, no. And then we'll add... Well, you would add more paradox tokens, but since each location already has one, we're not going to add them again because it's a maximum of 1.
We're also going to call it.
We are going to call it there. Yeah. We are so close. We had to return one more... Well, we have to get one more item and return all 3 of them, but we are only 2 time away from losing this altogether. So, ooh, it's a close one. But let's transition over to the Q&A portion of the show and see if people have any questions or want to see maybe the DeLoreans up close. Like, they do come in 4 different colors, and they are cool little, like, plastic... figurines, and they have super detailed.
With the, what's the fancy word for the cool lightning going through the box?
Spot something. Spot gloss. I call it shininess.
It is. It's shininess, but it's a very cool box.
All right, let's see here. Thanks. We had a fun time making the game. It was about as funny as a screen door on a battleship. Oh yeah, that's a good line. Finally, a fun looking Back to the Future game. Hey, thanks, Video Game Lawyer.
It is a fun
thanks for punching Biff.
It was my pleasure.
Here. Einstein is the best boy. He is.
So you want to show maybe off the playing boards?
Oh yeah, let's show off.
All of it. It's all good.
One of my favorite parts of the game, of any game, the insert. So it's actually got a place for every DeLorean. It's got a place for you to put the dice and the cards. They all, like, the cards fit in here perfectly. Whoops. And then once you get all that in there, you have a place for the player boards as well to go fit perfectly in there. And then on top of that, the board actually sits right on top of that as well.
And then you got the owner's manual.
And there's plenty of room for all, like, the tokens and stuff, so you don't have to worry about trying to cram them in there under everything. There's tons of room to put stuff away. I know that's sometimes...
Do you want to show them these cool Biffs?
Yeah.
The Mad Dogs. Those are cool, too.
Does Biff have a larger role in the game? Mostly Biff's there to stop you from being able to do things. Right. So if Biff's at your location, you cannot complete events, you cannot return items. Right. So he's... more he gets in the way, and you got to get him out of the way before you can take care and save time. So he messes with the players so they can't solve the events or return in items. Yep. Let's see here. So there's the Biff. We have the out-of-time marker as well with the California license plate. Right. And they do match. I like that everything, like, the colors match.
Flip this and show the cool letter.
Oh yeah. Let's show the back of the board.
Let's not flip the board. All right.
There we go. All right. So on the back of the board, there's actually a letter from Emmett, from Doc Emmett Brown, telling you, like, I'm writing you from the future. As you know, on October 26, 1985, I successfully performed a temporal experiment using a time machine built from a DeLorean. It was stolen in 2015 by Biff Tannen, who planned to use the time machine for personal gain with no regard for the integrity of the space-time continuum. So that's how we got here. That's why we're trying to travel through space and time. It tells you need to get out there and fix it. And I'll leave the rest of the letter for people to read when they get the game. But essentially that explains why we're in this situation. Biff got a hold of the DeLorean, messed up time, and now it's our job to fix it before there's a paradox. And the paradoxes unravel the fabric of the universe. So let's see, what card sleeves or fit is if sleeved? Oh, will the cards fit if sleeved? That is a good question. The Ravensburger folks may know a little bit more about that in chat. It looks like there's a little bit of room though in there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't sleeved them, but there's a little bit of room on the sides that you might fit. Yeah. Let's see here if there's anything else. I believe there are smaller card sleeves that will fit in. That's good. Okay. Any other questions throughout there? Is it only 2 players? No, it is up to 4 players. And it is co-op.
It would be fun with 4. Rippling die would be insane.
Yes.
You might run into each other.
Ravensburger said Biff was been a little quiet this game. Wanted to see Joe Neely punch him more often. He got really active towards the end there.
I'm with you. I wanted to punch him more.
I think you jinxed us. Yeah. Don't we all need to be in 2015 again? Wouldn't that be nice? Only if they were real hoverboards. Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. That would be so cool. Just ride around on your hoverboard. Fit in the tray if they're sleeved. Yeah. Again, I'm not positive because I don't have the sleeves, so I can't say for sure if they would fit. Are there any other questions, or anyone want to see anything else with, like, there are, again, 2 other Doc Brown, and the board art is a little bit different on all these as well, so so there you have 1985 Doc and Marty, 1955 Doc and Marty. There you got 1885 Doc and Marty and Clara. She's there on there too. And then 2015 Doc and Marty. I love Doc's outfit in the 2015s. It's like, I wish that's what fashion would have been like when we were in 2015. Do it. Well, it's 5 years ago now. That's like old news, right? It's not cool anymore. What other colors? It is, so there's orange and pink that Emily and I were playing. There's also like a yellowish brown. Mustard? Yeah, mustard's like a
old western brown.
Old western brown, and then a blue. So and the DeLoreans do match, and the dice. So like your board. Oh yeah, he's very see-through, isn't he? There we go. But the boards and the dice and the cars all match. They're the same color, so it's easy to tell, like, hand out each player's pieces. Thanks, I love the game, just want to protect my investment. Yes, yeah. Always good to protect your stuff, so. It looks like we're running out of questions here, though. I don't see too many more coming in. Yeah, yes, Flamekin Steve did say the cards hold up very well to shuffling. We have played this a lot of times, and I have not seen any wear on any of the cards, and we shuffle them. I mean, you're not shuffling throughout the game that often. You're only shuffling during setup. So, unlike some like deck builder games and stuff like that, where you're constantly shuffling them, they can get worn out a little faster. But this one's good. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. So, just another reminder: if you are here from Gen Con, please remember to give your ticket through the event details page. If you have questions about how to do that, they should show you on the event dashboard or even in your emails you receive from Gen Con. That really helps Gen Con know that you enjoy Ravensburger events and you want to see more of them in the future.
Yep.
And then Gen Con will let us do this more. Until next time, though, my name's Joe.
I'm Emily.
And remember, your future is whatever you make it, so make it